Hey, I'm Jesse, and I'm all about getting you older guys that younger, beautiful girlfriend. And today I'm going to show you exactly the secret of how to make that female friend of yours suddenly feel horny, make her suddenly feel turned on, make her suddenly feel wet and moist up between her legs, and giving you the googly eyes, all in under 3 minutes flat. And this is especially good when there's a big age gap there. And this works even if you're an average-looking Joe, because imagine you probably have a younger woman that are like right now, either from church or work, or that female friend that lives down the street, or she's a friend of yours, and she's given you little signs, she's giving you little hints, little signals that she's really into you, but you're not quite sure how to bring it from platonic friend to get in her clothes ripped right off her body, and that just sucks when you're permanently stuck there in the friend zone. I don't want you to get trapped. I know guys who secretly like on their female friend, and they get stuck there for years and years. I know other dudes who have fumbled this, because they go about it in all the wrong ways. They make these awkward, clumsy advances on the girl they like, and they get the cold shoulder. All they get is a polite rejection, where the girl tells them, well, I see you as more like a friend, and they get shut down, they get that door slammed right in their face. And I'm not sure what's worse, suffering in silence, or awkwardly fumbling it and getting kicked off to the curb. So maybe you have that female friend, and you just wish there was some easy and reliable way to get her consistently turned on, to get her consistently feeling horny for you, and do it fast in a matter of mere minutes, without making it awkward, without creeping her out. And while it's taking me over 20 years to figure out some of these techniques through trial and error, we're going to get you out of that friend zone trap in the next couple of minutes. And that's why you need to listen up, and you need to listen to me very closely here. And by the way, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a special move that I like to use. This is a move you can do solely with your eyes. Just by the way you look at that girl, you can turn on that female friend of yours. Now, it doesn't work in 3 minutes. You need more, like 10 or 20 minutes for it to work, but it's still a great move. And I'm going to show you that at the end of this video, so you want to stick around now. If you have ever been able to turn it around with a female friend of yours, I'd be curious to hear what was that one thing you did. What was that one move that turned on? And I want you to share that down in the comments below so we can compare notes. Now, to turn on a female friend of yours in under 3 minutes. Guys, first things first. First, you have to understand how men and women are very different from one another. Right? We men and women, we have different chemical hormones leading our brains. For example, men have about 10 to 20 times more testosterone than women do. High testosterone can release dopamine in the brain, making you feel better, making you feel more pleasure as a man. Testosterone's also responsible for your sex drive. When you have high testosterone as a man, you pretty much want to bang. You want to bang anything that moves. You get super horny. Women, on the other hand, have higher levels of a different hormone than we men do, and that is called oxytocin. Oxytocin is a very powerful sex hormone that floods the female brain with signals to bond with other human beings. For example, when a woman is breastfeeding a newborn baby, her body gets flooded with oxytocin to bond with that baby. Oxytocin also floods her body when she's having an orgasm so that she bonds with the man during intercourse, or when a woman is being touched by a man, especially in those sensitive hotspots with a lot of nerve endings like her wrist or her neck. She's touched by a man, oxytocin floods her body. And here's another interesting thing about oxytocin. When a woman's body is flooded with the sexual hormone, her testosterone levels also shoot way up. Her testosterone levels go up just like a man's does. And when she has high testosterone, guess what? She gets horny. The girl gets horny. She wants to smash. She wants to smash whoever is in front of her. Doesn't matter what the guy looks like. Doesn't matter how old the guy is. Because now it's her lizard brain taking over. It's her lizard brain giving her the commands. It's that chemical in her body, the oxytocin, the testosterone telling her how to feel. It's an automatic response. So what that means is if you want to get your female friend feeling horny, flood her body with oxytocin, flood her body with testosterone. Both are very powerful sexual hormones. A great, proven, surefire way to accomplish that is through physical touch, touching her sensitive parts of her body that have a lot of nerve endings, touching her wrist, touching her neck, touching the inside of her elbow, touching her upper thigh. I mean, have you ever had the experience where a female friend of yours maybe just gave you a small little touch on the shoulder or gave you a small little touch on the hand, and then it was like boom, like a bolt out of the blue, like lightning striking you from the sky? You suddenly saw this woman in a whole new light. You suddenly got the tingles for her. You started to feel the sexual spark with her. Maybe you even got a boner out of nowhere, and you didn't even think much of this woman. She wasn't even that attractive to you. Well, in women, that touch effect is literally 10 times more powerful. That touch effect has 10 times, guys. 10 times the emotional impact on her. And that's why even a small, well-placed, innocent little touch can turn you from being that nice guy friend into her potential lover, into her next potential partner, almost instantly, just like that, in mere seconds. So now I'm going to share with you some of my very favorite moves to touch a female friend of yours and get her turned on. But do it in a way where you sneak underneath her radar. Do it in a way that feels normal and natural to her, and not creepy, not overly grabby, not come across as clumsy. But guys, if you want to take this sort of thing to the next level, you can go right here to youngerpartner.com. You know, I run a program that I spent 20 years developing. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of guys now at this point to get them that loyal, loving, sweet, feminine, younger girlfriend of his dreams for other guys. I get them 3 great girls he can call up at any time, where they show up at your front door in a flash to bang your brains out. Now I use a method called visual neural programming to wipe away all the fears, wipe away all the doubts, wipe away all the shame and limiting beliefs that are holding you back and turn you into that confident, cocky older guy, so that the next time a girl give you positive signals, you can capitalize on it. You can talk to her, you can take her out on a fun date and take her back to your place the very same night. And if that's up your ass, if you're a man of higher standards who's not willing to settle for second-rate women anymore, just go right here to Younger Partner and get in touch with me. I got a 95% success rate with my clients, and we'll have you rocking and rolling with girls you really want in just a few short months. So now let's jump into some of these moves to touch a female friend of yours, to get her instantly turned on, to get her feeling horny. But do it in a way that's completely normal and natural and is not going to weird her out. And the very first way, guys, and this is very simple, this is very basic, yet most of you guys, you're not following the basics. What you want to do is, as you're speaking to a woman, you want to gesture. That's right. You want to gesture to her with one hand. Hey, how you doing, Sarah? Hey, it's good to see you again. You gesture with one hand as you speak to her, sort of like how an Italian, would you go to Italy? You're going to see these old Italian men that talk like this. They're constantly gesturing a bit too much. In fact, almost like a cartoon. But most of you guys, you're not gesting at all. So all you got to do is simply keep your hand up above your waist up here, and you gesture. And what this allows you to do is reach out and touch your female friend on the shoulder. It allows you to reach out and touch her on the arm. Hey, did you hear the news about Bob? What happened to him? And you reach out and you touch her arm, you touch her hand, you touch her shoulder. And when you're talking to a girl and reaching out and touching her as you talk, that's called an incidental touch. You're just incidentally touching her. It's almost of no consequence, incidental touches. They're perfectly normal, perfectly reasonable to do in any conversation, as long as you are gesturing, because if you have your hands down in your pockets or you have your hands crossed on your chest, If then you were to reach out and touch the girl, now look at how much distance your hand is now making. And now it's super obvious you're reaching out. It's super noticeable now, and that's why it's awkward. But when you're already gesturing, now your hand only has to travel a couple of inches, and now you've touched her, and that touch triggers that oxytocin response and gets her horny. Now she might act like she doesn't notice your touch, but believe me, she is noticing it. She is fully aware that she is being stimulated. Now the next move you can make to turn on a female friend in just a couple of minutes, simply by touching her, is to inspect her jewelry, to do a jewelry inspection. Like if she's wearing a necklace, you can simply reach out and touch the necklace. You reach out as if you're inspecting it. So I'm curious, what's the meaning of this necklace here? It's so beautiful. Like, why are you wearing it? Or if she's wearing a bracelet, you simply reach out and you touch it. You touch her wrist, and her wrist is packed with sensitive nerve endings. Hey, I'm curious. What's the meaning of this bracelet? It's so beautiful. Where did you get this? And then you're getting that little touch in, and that little touch is going to spark that oxytocin response and get your female friend horny. Now, if your female friend is not wearing jewelry, alternatively, you can do a skin inspection. You can inspect her skin. So, for example, you tell her, "So, I don't understand this. Jessica, tell me, why is your skin so tan? I don't get it." And you hold up your hand to her hand, and you make that touch. As you compare her skin color to your skin color, are you rubbing like a special ointment to get tan like that? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm liking it. Or you could tell her, "Jessica, why is your skin so pale? I kind of took you as an outdoor type," and you lift up your forearm. Touch her forearm to compare skin colors, and that little one touch is going to trigger that oxytocin response in your female friend and start to get her horny. Now we get to the bonus move. Gentlemen, getting your female friend turned on and horny doesn't have to be through physical touch alone. You can also get your female friend turned on and feeling horny without even touching her at all, just by the way you look at her now. Most guys screw this up completely. They're either looking at the woman's face in general, but not into her eyes, or he's looking into her eyes, but the eye contact, it's very platonic, it's very friendly, or he's having trouble holding eye contact with her at all, and I guarantee you, if you do any of those, the girl will feel no sexual chemistry with you at all, and she'll feel like you're just friends, and that's how you end up in the friend zone. So if you want to get her feeling horny and turned on, what you want to do instead is give her little flashes of the tiger eyes, give her little flashes of sexualized gay. And guys, this is very simple. It's very straightforward. When the girl is talking to you, you're going to pick one of her pupils and you're going to focus in on that pupil, and then you imagine having sex with her when she's speaking to you, and that's pretty much it. Just imagine having sex with her. Imagine her naked. Imagine pulling her in and kissing her. And then when you are talking to her, what you're going to do is slow down the tempo. When you speak to her, you slow down the rhythm with longer and longer pauses, and you start to stretch out the vowels. So you have a sexier speaking voice. So instead of saying to her, "Hey Jessica, did you do the assignment from yesterday?" you say, "Hey Jessica, so did you do the assignment from yesterday?" And then when she speaks, you imagine pulling her in, kissing her, you imagine her naked. And what this ends up doing is that sexualized eye contact with your female friend creates a sexual connection with her, and your sexual thoughts change your pupils in a very subtle way. They give you those bedroom eyes, they give you those tiger eyes, as I call it, and she'll start to feel horny. And this works because the girl will tend to feel whatever you're feeling. So most men, what they do is they try to hide their sexuality. They try to hide their sexual thoughts from the girl, so they only give off this friendly friend vibe, and the girl only feels friendship for him. And that's how they get friend zone. But when you start to feel sexual for the girl, when you feel that raw sexuality for her, and you don't hide it, you're just open about it, then she will start to feel it too, and she will follow you into that state. I use visual neural programming to rip out all those toxic beliefs holding you back and transform you into that confident badass that beautiful women really want to meet. So the next time a beautiful girl throws you a smile, gives you eye contact, you can chat her up, take her out on a fun date, and turn her into your girlfriend. So if you're tired of losing girl after girl after girl, if you're tired of being alone, then go right here to youngerpartner.com, fill out the short application, and let's get in touch now. Since you enjoyed this video, you want to watch this one next. This is exactly what to say when a younger woman tells you, "You are too old for me." This is going to show you what to say to turn things around with a younger woman who says you are too old for me. And I guarantee that objection is going to come up if you're talking to pretty girl. So you might as well have a good answer ready at your fingertips to pull out of your back pocket. But a good answer that's actually going to turn that objection around into even more attraction for you. So go watch it right now.